Hidden between towering mountains and ancient fault lines lies a city most of the world has never heard of. Yet its history could shake the earth beneath your feet. A place where Soviet secrets, vanishing orchards, and untamed nature collide with modern ambition. This is no ordinary city. This is Almaty, the beating heart of Kazakhstan, where fortunes are made, protests erupt, and ancient earth waits, restless beneath its streets. Welcome to the city that refuses to be forgotten. Nestled in the mountainous expanse of southern Kazakhstan lies Almaty, the nation's largest and most vibrant city. Positioned over 1,000 kilometers from Astana, the current capital, Almaty clings to the foothills of the majestic Almaty Mountains, near the border with Kyrgyzstan. From virtually every vantage point in the city, the towering ridgelines frame the skyline in breathtaking fashion, a constant reminder of the region's raw, unyielding natural beauty. Home to a thriving population exceeding 2.1 million residents, Almaty is not only a metropolis by scale, but also by influence. Though it ceded its status as the nation's capital in 1997 after nearly 7 decades, its unofficial title as the Southern Capital persists, a testament to the city's enduring significance as an economic, cultural, and intellectual powerhouse. Almaty serves as the financial nerve center of Kazakhstan and Central Asia at large. Headquarters of the region's most influential banks, Kazakh Bank, Kaspi Bank, and Jusan Bank, dominate its commercial avenues. The Kazakhstan Stock Exchange, the largest in the country, operates from this urban heart, setting financial currents in motion that ripple across the nation. Yet beneath its economic vigor lies a bustling, human-scaled city where tree-lined boulevards thrum with life. Al-Farabi Avenue stands as one of its busiest thoroughfares, a ceaseless artery of traffic that pulses with the daily rhythm of urban existence. Meanwhile, pedestrian havens like Panfilov Street and Arbat provide welcome refuge from the rush, alive with sidewalk cafes, street performers, and musicians filling the air with notes of tradition and modernity. Almaty's terrain has dictated its infrastructure in intriguing ways. Countless ditches carved alongside roads ensure efficient drainage of water from the steep slopes of the surrounding mountains. Outdoor fitness equipment dots the city's green spaces, a testament to its citizens' deep-seated love of health and the outdoors. This academic hub brims with a youthful spirit. Universities such as the Al-Farabi Kazakh National University and the Kazakh British Technical University attract students from across the region, imbuing the city with a lively collegiate energy. An enduring symbol of Almaty is the apple. In fact, the very name Almaty translates to apple in Kazakh. Local markets brim with this treasured fruit, and the famed Aport variety, known for its remarkable size and crisp sweetness, once reigned supreme in local orchards. However, the march of urban expansion has spelled a grim fate for these cherished groves. Nearly 70% of the orchards have been lost to aggressive residential development, a fact lamented by residents who feel a living piece of the city's soul has been stripped away. Once abundant, the Aport apple remains a nostalgic memory of a city forever evolving, a symbol of what was and what might yet be preserved. In a city as sprawling as Almaty, the question inevitably arises: how do its people move? The answer lies in a surprisingly extensive and varied public transport system. The streets hum with a mix of buses, trolleybuses, and fixed-route minibuses, weaving a dense web of connections that bind the neighborhoods together. But what truly sets Almaty apart is its underground heartbeat, the Almaty Metro. Unique in Kazakhstan, this modern, gleaming subway system is a source of local pride. Though modest in scale, with a single line of just 11 stations, it represents a forward-looking ambition in a city with deep historical roots. Opened in 2011, the Metro's spotless platforms and contemporary design stand in sharp contrast to the city's Soviet-era facades. For those arriving from beyond its borders, Almaty International Airport serves as the city's gateway, connecting this Central Asian hub to cities like Dubai, Moscow, Frankfurt, Istanbul, and Seoul. Travelers descend upon a city where urban convenience meets rugged natural beauty, and where, if you ask any local for the best place in town, their answer is delightfully unexpected: the mountains. Almaty's greatest treasure lies not in its bustling markets or financial towers, but in the towering peaks that cradle it. Within minutes, one can ascend from the city's lively streets into the serene embrace of the Almaty. A favored retreat is Koktobe Hill, a panoramic park perched high above the city at 1,130 meters above sea level. Accessed by a gently swaying cable car or electric taxi, the only vehicles permitted on its winding slopes, the hill offers sweeping views of Almaty's skyline, framed by a jagged mountain horizon. The summit hosts a small amusement park, quaint restaurants, and even a peculiar but beloved Beatles monument, a nod to the city's eclectic sense of humor and cultural curiosity. Towering above it all is the Almaty TV Tower, the tallest structure in the city, soaring to a height of nearly 372 meters. Further up the mountains lies Medeu, a place etched into local legend. Known as the highest altitude ice skating rink in the world, its 10,500 square meter surface has seen over 170 world records shattered beneath the blades of champions. Open year-round to the public, Medeu is more than a sports venue. It's a gathering place, a winter ritual, and a canvas for childhood memories painted against snow-laden pines. From here, mountain trails stretch endlessly into the wilderness. A 30-minute hike leads to thermal springs where locals soak in barrel-shaped tubs of steaming mineral water beneath the icy winter sky. Fitness, it seems, is etched into the city's very culture. The people of Almaty move with purpose, hike with ease, and carry an unspoken reverence for the peaks that surround them. For those less inclined to climb, the Shimbolak ski resort lies just a short drive away, the largest in Central Asia. A seamless blend of natural perfection and modern infrastructure, Shimbolak boasts pristine slopes, a temperate climate, and sunshine-drenched days that stretch from late November into April. Whether it's skiing, snowboarding, or simply watching the world from a mountain terrace, the resort offers residents and visitors alike a quick escape into a pristine, unspoiled world. In Almaty, nature isn't a weekend getaway. It's a daily companion, a defining feature of life in a city where the mountains forever beckon. In Almaty, winter melts into spring, and with it comes an irresistible call, one that echoes from 2,500 meters above sea level, where Big Almaty Lake glimmers like a jewel in the mountains. This glacial reservoir, its hues shifting from pale green to deep turquoise with the moods of the sky, isn't just a tourist spot. It's a rite of passage. They say you haven't truly seen Almaty until you've stood at its shores. Reaching it, however, is no simple feat. The old road, battered by landslides, has remained closed for years. The only way to the lake is on foot, a grueling 4 to 5 hour trek through dense forest and rocky terrain. But for those willing to endure the journey, the reward is solitude. There are no crowds here, just a few scattered souls, crisp mountain air, and the sound of water lapping at stone. It's a natural sanctuary, untouched and humbling. Almaty has long been known as the Garden City, and when you walk its shaded boulevards and sprawling parks, you understand why. The streets pulse with life beneath the cover of ancient elms and chestnuts, their branches casting lacework shadows across weathered stone. Summers here can be relentless, but the canopy of green offers a welcome reprieve. Among the city's crown jewels is the Botanical Garden, a sprawling verdant refuge in the heart of the urban grid. From above, it's a patchwork of emerald lawns and meandering paths, a place where time slows and the city's chaos seems to fade. Then there's First President's Park, Central Park, and the historic Panfilov Park, each with its own character, each a pocket of quiet against the city's relentless pace. But one landmark rises above them all, both literally and symbolically. The Ascension Cathedral, also known as Zenkov Cathedral, is one of the tallest wooden structures in the world. Built at the dawn of the 20th century, this vibrant, multi-hued cathedral stands as a testament to resilience, having withstood the catastrophic earthquake of 1911. Its spire pierces the sky, a beacon of faith and endurance. Culture in Almaty isn't confined to museums or monuments. It pulses through the streets, echoes in concert halls, and fills the stages of its famed opera houses. The Abay Opera House stands as one of Kazakhstan's premier cultural institutions, while venues like the Kazakh State Academic Theater and the sleek new Almaty Theater host everything from ballet to contemporary exhibitions and fashion shows. Then there's Republic Square, the symbolic heart of Almaty, a place of celebration and defiance. It was here in December 1986 that thousands of young Kazakhs took to the streets in protest against Moscow's decision to impose a non-Kazakh leader. The demonstration was brutally quashed, leaving up to 200 dead, but its memory lingers. And again, in January 2022, the square became a crucible of discontent, a stage for protests against soaring fuel prices and economic inequality, a reminder that beneath Almaty's picturesque veneer lies a complex, restless soul. Some traditions here stretch back centuries. The bathhouse culture, for instance, is still alive and well. The city's largest banya is a place where steam, conversation, and the rhythmic snap of tree branches against skin still offer their age-old promise of purification. But for all its old-world rituals, Almaty isn't an expensive city by global standards. A decent hotel with breakfast included might set you back $50 a night. A week's pass for local public transport, about 17 cents, and a meal for two at a cozy restaurant, roughly $20 to $30. It's a city where experiences, rich, authentic, and unpolished, come at a price that feels almost anachronistic in today's world. But beyond Almaty's city streets, where skyscrapers meet sun-dappled parks, lies the real reason travelers are drawn here: the untouched, untamed wilderness. A world where nature stretches endlessly across valleys, deserts, and snow-capped peaks, and every road out of Almaty feels like the start of an adventure. Take the Asi Plateau, for example, a vast, high mountain valley where wild horses roam and the wind sings through ancient grasslands. The road here is punishing, a rugged path that tests even the sturdiest off-road vehicles. But what waits at the end is worth every jolt and dust cloud. An unbroken horizon, where the sky feels close enough to touch and the silence is deafening. Closer to the city lies Kapchagai, a curious contradiction in the Kazakh landscape. Here, casinos glitter against the steppe, and in summer, crowds flock to its artificial beach. On the day we visited, a quiet September afternoon, the water lay still and glassy, the cafes empty, their chairs stacked like silent sentinels. Yet you could almost hear the echo of 1,000 sun-soaked afternoons, of music, laughter, and the splash of diving bodies. But perhaps the most breathtaking natural marvel is the Charon Canyon. Carved by the relentless Charon River over 12 million years, its jagged crimson walls stretch for 50 kilometers, a miniature Grand Canyon, born of sediment and time. In the punishing heat of the day, the canyon floor seems to radiate its own warmth. Thankfully for the weary, a shuttle awaits to ferry visitors down to the water's edge and back again. And then there are the lakes, otherworldly pockets of stillness nestled high in the mountains. Kandy Lake is one of the most surreal, formed after an earthquake in 1911, when a landslide dammed a narrow gorge submerging an ancient coniferous forest. To this day, the ghostly submerged treetops still pierce the surface of the pale blue water, like skeletal fingers reaching skyward. Not far away, you'll find the Kolsai Lakes, a chain of 3 glacial lakes, each more remote than the last. The lower lake is accessible by car, its calm waters reflecting the surrounding cliffs. But to reach the second and third requires a steady climb and no small amount of endurance. It's worth it though. The higher you go, the wilder and quieter it gets. A place where campfires glow beneath star-blanketed skies, and the only sound is the wind in the pines. And in autumn, the road leading to these natural sanctuaries transforms into an impromptu market. Vendors line the roadside with overflowing crates of pumpkins, watermelons, apples, and late summer harvests. It's a reminder that, despite the modern cityscape, the rhythm of the land still beats strong in these mountains. Even the food tells a story. Almaty's culinary tapestry is rich, woven from centuries of nomadic tradition and Soviet history. Thanks to Stalin's forced relocations, you'll find a surprising number of Korean restaurants here, their menus shaped by exile and resilience. But if you're seeking local flavors, Sandy Q Restaurant is a destination in itself. Named after the traditional treasure chest kept in Kazakh homes, it serves up ancient recipes in a space where the past feels present. Start with shubat, fermented camel's milk, sharp and effervescent. Then samsa, little pastries filled with spiced meat, followed by tender grilled lamb and stews perfumed with local herbs. It's a feast for both palate and history, accompanied by live music on weekends, the notes of the dombra mingling with the scent of wood smoke. Of course, like any city cradled between beauty and history, Almaty faces its challenges. Air pollution clings stubbornly to the foothills, trapped by the basin's shape, much like Athens or Los Angeles. The culprits are many, but chief among them, the endless stream of cars. Here, vehicles account for over 65% of the city's emissions. And while there's a growing push for electric cars and greener public transport, the old diesel engines still choke the streets during rush hour. It's no surprise then that the city's wealthiest residents have sought refuge in the hills. Beyond Almaty's crowded avenues lie private sanctuaries, sprawling estates with lush gardens and shimmering pools, hidden behind towering fences. In a culture where privacy is currency, these walled enclaves are impenetrable, unless you have a drone, which, fortunately, we did. Yet there's another invisible threat lurking beneath Almaty's surface: the Earth itself. This region has been shaped and shattered by seismic forces for centuries. In 1887, a powerful earthquake devastated the city. Again, in 1911, another strike. It's a risk residents have learned to live with, but it lingers, quietly written into the foundations of every building and the cautious optimism of its people. And yet, despite the tremors, the smog, and the sprawl, Almaty endures. More than that, it thrives. When you tally the scales, the city's advantages shine: a vibrant economy, proximity to unspoiled mountains and valleys, green parks that bloom like oases in the urban heat, a climate more forgiving than Astana's bitter winds. Its flaws are visible, but so are its strengths. So what is Almaty? It's a city of contrasts, where ultra-modern skyscrapers cast their shadows on centuries-old mosques, where young creatives sip coffee in Soviet-era courtyards, and where every road seems to lead toward wild, untouched nature. Thanks for traveling with us. Wherever you are in the world, remember, home isn't just a place, it's a perspective. We'll see you in the next story, only here on Beyond Borders. Hit subscribe, share the journey, and stay curious.